The Monte and the Pharaoh Show is brought to you by...
Because wine is your second favorite four-letter word. California wine, New York attitude. Good fucking wine.
Yeah.
Film man, you know, put some damn money and produce it the right way. But I listened to that shithole Jim Ross talking about that Bill Watts was the first guy to ever put a black guy JYD out as his main baby face. Well, he's full of crap. You know who the first guy was in wrestling to put that a black guy in the main event?
Who was that?
The Sheik, Bobo Brazil.
Yeah, he's right. He's right.
The Sheik was on the cutting edge of everything. You can say what you want about him. That guy, he had the brain for the business. But it's like when he stayed with me that time, I'll never forget. He said, Eddie, he said, I screwed up a long time ago. I said, what you mean? He said, I should have stayed in my own territory and not leave and go and help all these other son of a bitches draw money. Every time they got down, they would bring the Sheik in, you know, and draw the money because he'd sell out everywhere.
Right.
And he said, I should have just stayed in Detroit and took care of my own place. And he knew what he did wrong. And it's hard to say that he did anything wrong. I mean, because he was so good at what he did. But, you know, when the cat's away, the mice will play.
Mm. You know what, Eddie, speaking on the cats being away, I wanted to ask you this. Recently, since Raw is now on Netflix, Monday Night Raw, they've had their lowest ratings pretty much ever. When the cat's away, the mice will play. Now that Vince McMahon is no longer running WWE and there is starting to get the internet shitstorm of that they're starting to slip, is the WWE in good hands with Triple H, and will the WWE continue to be the top product in the world of professional wrestling for years to come? What's your take now that Vince is gone and this is the first sign of some slippage as far as viewership? What do you think about that?
Well, they got the best product out there now because of Vince. And with Triple H, I don't know. I don't. That's a great question, but it's tough to answer.
How long does Vince McMahon's fingerprints remain forever on the product? Because it's possible he left such a legacy.
Well, it's kind of hard to replace a guy who invented the company.
Yeah.
And see, these guys at Endeavor and all that are really starting to price the WWE out of the ball game.
I agree, Mike. That's it right there, right, Monte?
Yeah.
You know, you can't price yourself. You got to know your audience,
right?
And you know, it was always a family sport. You know, professional wrestling. Everybody would. I mean, our biggest gates were on New Year's and Christmas and Thanksgiving and days like that. That people would, hey, bring the families and go watch the matches.
That's gone. And
now you can't afford to do that. And, you know, is that a bad thing? I think it's going to be a bad thing. They need to, this is not NFL football. And if they're not careful, they'll price themselves out too. I mean, you have to kind of go with what people can afford. And they've really priced themselves out. As far as their production is you know, Les Fillin is killing it as a producer over there.
Mm.
But Tony Khan has an opportunity right now.
He does. Yeah,
if you would call a guy like Eddie Mansfield, bring a guy in who doesn't kiss your ass all the time, who only cares about the company being the best that it could possibly be. That's the kind of guy you want working for you.
He'll never allow it. He'll never allow it. His ego has already been in the way for what, Mike? Half a decade with AEW?
Yeah.
He'll never allow it. Like if a Jim Cornette came in or somebody such as yourself.
Jim Cornette ain't smart enough to fucking run nothing.
I'll tell. But what I'm getting at is,
You know,
somebody
he lets
won't be
his
able
battleship now. Jim Cornette is a piece of shit.
Nice. Elaborate.
I mean, he can't. Everything he's run goes right in the ground. Look at all the bookings he booked. They're in the ground. Smoky Mountain. He couldn't draw 2 knobs of goat shit with a ready-made territory. He went and ripped Rick Rubin off of money. That's how he bought his house, with Rick Rubin's money.
Oh boy.
Wait, how did that happen?
Ask that son of a bitch. He's got the answers for everything.
Wow. You know,
That's one guy I don't have any respect for in the business.
Oof. Well, I guess getting back to my point, somebody with a how about this, Eddie?
Well, Jimmy, can I just ask a question real quick?
Personality. No, let me get that. Somebody with a strong personality. Tony Khan's not going to deal with that. Go ahead, Mike.
Why then, Eddie? All the wrestling fans respect Cornette, and why do they put him on?
How do they respect him? How you figure they respect him?
I think he's got the #1 podcast, right? And then
I don't think so.
He's always on Dark Side of the Ring every episode.
Oh, well, he kissed their ass and got on there, man. I did Dark Side. They had to pay me some serious money to sit there. I wasn't going on there because I knew that when you put, I am Mr. Ratings. When I comes on a show, I'm Mr. Ratings. And they put me on the show. It went up 20, 30, 40% of ratings.
Oh, okay.
Cornette couldn't draw 2 knobs of goat shit. Never could.
What's with the goat shit?
I meant to ask you this. We kind of went past it. Your friend Ric Flair had a couple things to say about.
Here we go.
Good old JR. JR has announced that he's got colon cancer and has had some issues, and I think Flair still's holding a little anger from the Dark Side of the Ring plane ride from hell. I'm sorry, the Ric Flair 30 for 30 ESPN documentary where.
Well, when you take it up the ass your whole career, something's going to give.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Bam. Wow. So I would assume to say, Eddie, you don't believe that JR is one of the greatest announcers of all time.
Oh, Lord, no. No, I don't. No.
So Jerry Lawler was carrying JR all those years? Go on.
Jerry Lawler can carry a lot of people. Jerry Lawler
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, I mean, he's really good at what he did. And Jerry was one of the best.
Yeah.
Now, the greatest announcer I've ever heard in the wrestling business, without a doubt, is Gordon Soley.
Oh, I agree. Play-by-play. Made it feel real.
The best.
Made
in
it
the
feel
business.
real. Was drunk as a skunk and nobody knew.
Not necessarily drunk.
Wait a minute. Mike, help me out here. Everybody we've
Don't you remember what I told you before?
Well, why? What else was he doing?
Well, he likes he likes a little cannabis,
Oh, that's right. He likes weed.
Smoking a little cannabis, yeah.
I am blown away by that.